Hi guys, thanks for tuning into another episode of Nuggets News. Today we're back with Michael, our head of written research for our weekly crypto update. How are you, Michael?
A little bit sick this week, and I think we've got a cyclone coming at the moment. I'm in Queensland at the moment, so I think could be a bit of a spicy weekend. So we'll see how that goes.
Yeah, I've heard that weather is meant to be crazy and hitting an area that it doesn't normally hit. So stay safe up there. When's it due to hit? Thursday or Friday?
Thursday, I think. Yeah. So watch this space.
Okay, so plenty happening in the crypto space. We probably had the most bullish announcement ever yesterday, and then overnight we got three big bits of bad news for the economy and the stock market, and everything's given right back all these gains, and it is a painful time, and that normally means we're closer to a bottom than a top. But what are your thoughts on what we've seen this week?
Absolutely unprecedented. I don't think anyone knows what to do right now. I think most traders are just being chopped up to pieces. And it's really hard to do anything short term right now because I don't think anyone knows the direction because we went this place where good news wasn't pushing the market, bad news was pushing it, and now good news really pushed it and then pushed it straight back down, which I'm sure we'll talk about.
Yeah, and you saw the insider trading. I'm not sure if you've got any slides on that one specifically, but it was interesting that over crypto Twitter, someone was saying, hey, someone's taking a huge position, 50x leverage, and the liquidation price is only 2% below. And then this news came out and they made a heap of money, but people did the wallet tracing and said it didn't look like it was tied to anyone. It actually might have looked like it was tied to a hacker or something like that. So this is just this bizarre world that we continue to live in.
For someone to actually, I saw that this as well, and it was an obscene number. I can't remember the actual number of the initial position,
million,
but it was
I think, yeah.
200 million at 50x leverage, and that is mental. Like, I don't know who takes that position without inside knowledge, and so yeah, clearly something shady's gone down.
All right, let's dive into your news and highlights.
Yep. Okay. So obviously we'll start where the main, I guess the main action has been this week, which was Trump. So everyone's probably fairly well across this, but the tweet came out over the weekend effectively saying we are going to have this crypto reserve. We're going to fight. We're going to start this off with XRP, Sol, and ADA. And I just want to pause here for 1 second because even this, I have never seen the blockchain community be so anti-bullish news that would pump their own bags. Like everybody thought that this was ridiculous, that you would have Cardano is probably the big whipping boy here.
Yeah.
XRP, there's a case to be made now. Obviously, we spoke about this last week that there seems to be an institutional adoption.
Yeah.
But why does a sovereign state need a strategic reserve of like ADA and Sol? And the comment that I saw made, which again and again and again, where if Cardano disappeared, the people that would be upset are the bag holders, like people who are holding the token, which I know a lot of our community are, and well done to you. But like no one would miss Cardano if it got deleted from society. So again, just even in this, it's like it's very it's very back scratchy sounding.
Yeah, I guess you look through the top 10 and you've got to, realize that we've got the stable coins and then BNB, which is outside of American jurisdiction, that type of thing. But as you mentioned last week, I spoke about the Fed paper that they put out about Byzantine fault tolerance and projects that use that, which was XRP and ADA. And I think there's more evidence, as you say, in favor of, maybe the banks are going to use some new system with XRP and Stellar and these other ones named in that paper. But yeah, Cardano still a bit of a strange one. I don't know where they're going to find their market fit versus ETH, Sol, now Sui. They've spoke about pivoting to a Bitcoin layer 2. Maybe there's some big news coming that we don't know about. But yeah, as you said, and they've even mentioned others, talking about they're going to add other valuable cryptocurrencies. And Trump obviously retweeted this just to make sure people knew that, ETH and Bitcoin is still going to be the mainstay of our holdings. But I guess you can start trying to think, what are some wild theories that Trump has hinted at? Is it that they're just going to buy a heap of crypto, pump it all, and then say that that's going to pay off the national debt, and they don't really care what coins it is or how it plays out? So there's all these kind of things where we're waiting to see, well, why are they picking these and how does this play out? Does it even have a real meaning, or they're just kind of going gung-ho?
And we spoke again about this over the last couple of weeks, that it's a really strong characteristic trait if you can change your mind on things. And I think we need to start looking at stuff like, Charles Hoskinson's lobbying abilities and the fact that he's he's been in Washington a lot, and it seems like he's been quite successful in what he's doing. So, like I said, it doesn't always necessarily be the best tech that gets picked up. It's like there's a lot of luck, there's a lot of hard work, there's a lot of right place, right time, and it seems like the stars are aligning. So clearly, we all need to pay attention to Cardano probably more than we were in the past. But yeah, again, the tweet came out that, of course, Bitcoin and ETH are going to be at the heart of this. And then we saw exactly what happened just overnight, Australia time here, that the markets opened on Monday morning and pretty much gave back all of the gains. We've topped out here at nearly 95,000 Sunday night, Australia time. And then down she's come. And I think as we speak right now, it's coming down even further. So, yeah, horrible time if you're trying to trade the market, that's for sure. And for anyone who bought, like, again at 95, expecting the next leg up, I know some people in the community and did. Yeah, very, very painful time indeed.
Yeah, and as Philip's spoken about on our team, you know, couple of those indicators made him a little bit short-term bearish, but medium-term and long-term, you know, I'm still bullish. We've just had all this news. We've just got to get through a bit of a volatile time globally with everything's going on, and I think it's happy days for crypto afterwards.
Yeah, I think this is one of those classic examples where if you are going to be an investor, you need to pay your dues a little bit still. Nothing comes easy. And I think a lot of the time in blockchain, with cryptocurrencies, we've sort of come used to it being maybe a little bit easier than what it should be.
Yeah.
But again, that long-term time horizon on Bitcoin, I've just become more and more entrenched in my Bitcoin positions. And the only thing I've done in this sort of space is I've mentioned last week, pivoted out of Sol, where I'm just adding to my Bitcoin bags right now, just until we have a clear direction of where we're going short term.
Fantastic. All right, next up, some Ethereum stuff.
Yeah, so this is really interesting. I think there's obviously been a lot of pushback inside the Ethereum community just because the price has done not much. And it seems like the incentive alignment between the people who are building Ethereum and the people who are holding the ETH token didn't seem to match up. And the Ethereum Foundation is the biggest seller of ETH. And so they've obviously got a lot of ETH, they've got it staked, they're earning a lot of ETH, and they're constantly dumping. And this Aya Maiguchi, probably butchered the name, has been the CEO of the Ethereum Foundation, and effectively she's been bullied out of the position. The community has been calling for this for ages, but I don't know if she's stepped down or she's decided to leave or she's been moved on, but she's now going to go be the president. And there's now co-CEOs, which will be taking over as running the Ethereum Foundation. So Haiso Wei Wang, I don't know, again, probably butcher the name, I feel is probably going to be running a more technical background direction. And Thomas, who's been the head of Nethermind for the last several years, these two will be the new CEOs of the Ethereum Foundation. And then in addition to this, it seems like that Danny, who everyone was hoping would be the CEO, is going to be running something called Etherealize, which people are saying is kind of effectively going to be like a secondary foundation of Ethereum. And so some big, I guess, sort of leadership pivots inside this decentralized network. But I do think that this is long-term bullish Ethereum. And we see even now the price of ETH is coming pretty close to 2K for one ETH token. And for me, this is just huge value right now. I, with every bit of spare capital I've got, would be positioning Ethereum right here. I think the direction is good. I think it shows that they're listening to the community. And I don't know how you could be bearish Ethereum right now with everything going on, everything US, everything internally inside Ethereum. There's probably been a little bit of pressure which has been realized. And so, yeah, for me, like, while we have some incredibly confusing chop in the market, for me, this is all fairly bullish Ethereum long term.
Yeah, and this kind of aligns with, a few months ago I posted about how I was lightening up my Ethereum position compared to past years and going more heavy Bitcoin. It's good to see some of these OGs. For those that don't know, Nevermind was one of the original clients, and Danny Ryan, one of the OGs in the ecosystem. And we covered Etherealize in a previous episode about how Ethereum kind of need someone to become the face of marketing and business development and all that stuff because it's lost its way a bit. And even Vitalik had to pull the reins a little bit, and that upset people because that shouldn't happen in a fully decentralized ecosystem. So there's no doubt that they're facing a bit of a tough time at the moment, but it doesn't mean that they're still not the front runner. If we want to build a decentralized internet and get power away from all these corrupt big tech and all this AI stuff I've been warning about in my Evil Elite series, we have to build decentralized systems, guys, to take the power back and give the power back to users. So that's still got to be the vision.
Yep. Again, it's all just time horizon, and it's always been the case that if you're overexposed short term and you are losing sleep over the nightly sort of volatility of the market, you're probably too overexposed. But if you've got the ability to just play the long game and just stack your bags and sit tight and just look for value where value emerges, and we'll look at all of the new tech and the new projects that are being built on top of these systems, and take positions accordingly. There'll be huge opportunities, but it's the short-term time horizon stuff which is where danger lies.
Yep.
One that we want to talk about as well here is Vultisig. So you've mentioned this on the channel before, but this is a new piece of tech which is coming out from the 4Chain team, yes?
Yeah, so JP, who I had on the show a little while back when he was down visiting Tassie. So this is something that a lot of you have probably already used, but this is Vultisig. So think of it as like a competitor to your MetaMask or your Xverse wallet. Now this can be on your phone, your computer, and say your laptop, or even the Vultisig phone, which they're coming out with. So you got 3 different devices, you pair them all, and you can think of it as in it shards your private key. So if you click on a bad website, you can't get phished or hacked because those other 2 devices protect it. So I think this is kind of like the future, the next step forward away from, people have been hearing stories about Ledger or maybe Trezor, even just the email hacks and getting all your data, let alone if they have a back door to the software of the device or something like that. So again, I think this is going to be a great product. They're doing a big airdrop for people that are moving their funds to secure over to Vultisig at the moment. And then the token launch is on the 27th of this month, which is 3 weeks away now. I think for the people that have whitelisted, which will be a lot of people in our community, it's just launching on a Uniswap liquidity pool. I think on Base Chain, they want to do it. And I think that starting off valuation is like 3 million. And we were one of the initial investors in this. And I think that was at a 70 mil valuation or something like that. So they're trying to make it a very even launch for the whitelist. And then it'll be public on the second day, I believe. So it'd be great if it goes to around that 70 million where the investors were at the time the public gets in, a very fair launch. And if you look at its biggest competitors, it's probably Trust Wallet, that has a 400 mil market cap, 1 billion fully diluted valuation. So 4Chain seems to have recovered after they went through their rough patch with some of that debt app layer stuff they'd been playing around with. But it's still live, it's still making money. And I think this is hopefully going to be a good product with some big backers as well, so it can be successful.
Yeah, for those that haven't played around with the hardware wallet space, something like this is a bit of a godsend because it shows we've all got multiple devices. We've all got laptop, tablet, phone, whatever it might be. And the fact that you can remove that risk of becoming your own bank and that you can actually secure your own stuff without, worrying that someone is going to get you by clicking on the wrong thing, this is huge. And so this is something that I think which will get huge amounts of traction.
Yeah. Becoming your own bank, that's the story, isn't it? I think Bybit looked like they're going to pull through just fine after all that hack that dropped the day after I did that Bybit debit card video. But guys, this is the idea, to have your funds secure in cold storage and then have something like the Vultisig debit card so you can spend your crypto using encrypted messaging devices. And then the next step for everyone is, as we're saying, building decentralized apps. And that's what, Ethereum say needs. No one's come out there and said, hey, we're going to build a decentralized Facebook or Instagram or Twitter. These are the types of things. I think the best thing we've seen so far is a Session app. I'm not sure. You have used that, actually. We've chatted on that, haven't we?
Yep.
So Session app is a lot of people worried about Signal and WhatsApp and all this backdoor encryption. Where can you chat to people privately these days? Because we know all those government agencies are monitoring all our platforms. Session app is built fully using the blockchain. You get your own encrypted key. It's a fork of Monero, the privacy coin. So check out the Session app if you haven't already, guys. And this is where all this technology is hopefully heading. to the initial picture that all these cypherpunks set out to build when we first got passionate about blockchain technology and what was possible.
100%. And I think just lastly, just for the week, for those who are maybe feeling a little bit discouraged at the moment with their portfolio, like just know that we're all experiencing that. And the beauty about having the community like we have is that there's so many opportunities outside of just number go up, because a lot of these protocols, the main differences that they have is that us as users, like Session, you get to be a part owner in the network. And the second that any of them get any form of traction, that equates to revenues and it equates to actually value in your investing strategy. So if you look at like Arthur Hayes and you look at what he's done over the last several years, he's always levitated to those projects that are revenue producing and yield bearing. And so even if you're not looking for like, number go to $1 billion, whatever valuation, there's still huge amounts of revenue that actually gets distributed and shared to token holders. And so as a community and as a research team, it's what we'll continue to look for. So we're not just dependent on the idea that we need, ETH to go to 10K for us to make money. There's great ways that we can beat the market just from revenue producing protocols that share that revenue with token holders. And we'll continue to look for that type of opportunity as well.
Yeah, and for our members, check out that write-up Jason did yesterday about within the Sol ecosystem and using the JUP token in Jupiter to get like 70% yield in just sitting in stable coins at the moment, while you've got some, if you've taken some profits and you're waiting to see how low this dip goes, stuff like that, which is amazing. So
beautiful opportunities. Yep.
Awesome, guys. So you can sign up for our free newsletter, head over to the website for our research or VIP services, and we'll talk to you again next week, Michael. Cheers. Thanks, guys.